All right, let's dive into AI jobs. And no, this isn't just for the supercoders and PhDs. We're going to break down the entire ecosystem. The techie roles, for sure, but also all these other jobs where your skills, whatever they are, might be a perfect fit. So let's get right to it.
So, when you think AI job, what pops into your head? Probably some genius coder, right? Hunched over a keyboard, building some crazy complex algorithm. Well, that picture, it's one of the biggest myths out there. And honestly, it's what stops a ton of smart, talented people from even looking at this field.
But what if I told you the real picture looks a lot more like this? 50%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That right there, it's a total game changer. It points to this huge hidden opportunity that most people just don't see.
Yep, you heard that right. A full half of all the career paths in AI don't need you to be a coding wizard. See, everyone focuses on just a few of those super technical jobs, but there's this entire other side of the industry. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what's there.
Okay, think about any AI you've ever used. Seriously, the one that suggests your next Netflix binge, the one in a self-driving car, they all have one thing in common. They're built on a mountain of data. So, that's where we have to start, right at the very beginning, with the folks who handled the lifeblood of all AI.
And first up is the data engineer. I'm going to be honest, this might be one of the most critical, most in-demand jobs in this whole space, and yet it's one nobody ever seems to talk about.
And this quote is just perfect. They're the plumbers of the AI world. Think about it. They're the ones building these huge, complex pipe systems to get data from all over the place, and then they clean it up and get it organized so it's actually useful. Because without a data engineer, you don't have a data lake, you have a data swamp. They literally bring order to complete and utter chaos. So what's in their toolkit? Well, they're fluent in languages like Python and SQL. That's basically the language you use to talk to databases. And they work on massive cloud platforms, like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. Their entire world is about designing these super strong, super efficient systems to deliver that clean data. All right, so the pipes are built, the data is flowing, it's all clean and organized. Now, it's time for the data scientist to step in and find the treasure hidden inside all that information.
So if the data engineer is the plumber, the data scientist is Sherlock Holmes. They're the detectives. They look at the data, come up with theories, run experiments, and they find these hidden patterns and clues that nobody else even knew were there. And you know what every data scientist secretly wishes for? A perfect data pipeline, because that's what lets them solve the case in record time.
Their toolkit is this really cool blend of skills. You've got to have serious math and stats chops to understand why things are happening. Then you need programming languages like Python or R to actually dig into the data. But honestly, the most important skill they have, the one you can't learn from a textbook, is just this deep, insatiable curiosity. They just never stop asking, what if?
Okay, foundation, check. We've got clean data, we've got amazing insights. Now we get to the part everyone's excited about, building the actual brains of the operation. We're talking about the AI and machine learning models themselves. And this is where things can get a little confusing, so let's clear it up. You've got two key roles here, the machine learning engineer and the AI engineer. The machine learning engineer takes that cool prototype model from the data scientist and figures out how to make it work for millions of people in the real world. The AI engineer is more like a software developer with AI superpowers. They take these powerful models and actually build them into the websites and apps you use every single day. So think of it this way. The ML engineer builds the high-performance engine. The AI engineer builds the car around that engine. And it doesn't stop there. The field gets even more specialized. You have machine learning researchers. These are often the PhDs on the cutting edge, inventing brand new algorithms. Then you've got NLP engineers. That's natural language processing. They're the ones teaching computers how to understand us, what powers chatbots. And then you have computer vision engineers who are, and this is so cool, literally giving machines the ability to see and understand what's in a picture or video. So great, we've built this amazing artificial brain. But now what? How do we connect it to the real world? How do we make sure it's actually helping people and that it's fair and safe? Well, that takes a whole different set of skills. This is where we build the bridge between the tech and humanity, and this is where that 50% really starts to shine. And these jobs are just absolutely crucial. First, the AI product manager. They're the strategist. They figure out what problems are worth solving and define the vision for the AI product. Then you have the AI ethicist, who is basically the conscience of the project. They're asking the hard questions about fairness and bias.
And check this out, the AI trainer or data annotator. These are the people on the front lines, literally teaching the AI by labeling data. It is such a vital role and a great way to get your foot in the door.
And the bridge roles don't stop there. You have MLOps engineers. MLOps just means machine learning operations. Think of them as the air traffic controllers for AI, making sure all the models are running perfectly 24/7. And of course, you have the prompt engineer. Now, this is way more than just typing questions into a chatbot. It's an art and a science, learning the language of the AI to get exactly what you need out of it.
Okay, we've seen just how many different jobs there are in this world. The big question now is, how do you get started? Where do you even begin? Let's break down a simple roadmap.
No matter which path you're interested in, there are a few basics that will help. Yeah, knowing a little bit of Python and SQL is useful. It helps you speak the language. But honestly, look at the other side of this table. The soft skills are the real superpower here. You have to be able to communicate complex stuff simply. You have to be able to work with a team. And maybe most of all, you have to love learning, because this field changes like every few months.
But you want the real secret weapon? The #1 piece of advice I can give you? Build stuff. Just make things. Your power isn't a fancy certificate, it's a portfolio of projects. Go on GitHub and contribute to a project. Jump into a Kaggle competition. Find some weird dataset and see what you can build. Showing what you can do is 1,000,000 times more powerful than just listing what you know on a resume.
And look, this whole landscape is constantly evolving. We're already seeing brand new roles pop up, like AI safety specialists, which are becoming incredibly important. But the biggest shift, the real future here, is all about collaboration. This isn't a story about robots taking jobs. It's a story about humans and AI working together, our creativity and their processing power, solving problems that were impossible just a few years ago.
Which brings me to maybe the most important point of this whole thing. Whatever your background is, it's not a weakness, it's your unique strength. That psychology degree you have, that makes you perfect for AI ethics. That business experience, you could be an amazing product manager. The key is to stop thinking you need to fit into some perfect AI person mold. Instead, figure out where your unique skills can make the biggest difference.
So, as we wrap this up, my goal wasn't to give you a single answer. It was to open your eyes to just how big and diverse this world really is. So the question to ask yourself isn't, am I qualified? That's the wrong question. The right question is, looking at all of this, which one of these paths actually excites me the most? Figure that out, and you've already taken the most important step.